Hi, my name's Rick Kelly. I'm a certified trainer with IIRP, the International Institute for Restorative Practices, and a graduate of their graduate school. We're here today to have a conversation about an upcoming conference in Ottawa, April 4th and 5th. It's entitled Conversations About Restorative Justice, Moving Towards a New Paradigm. And here to talk with us about this upcoming event is Bruce Schenk, Director of IIRP Canada. Bruce, first question I'd like to ask you is, would you tell us about how the idea for this event came to be and what your thoughts were as it was beginning to be developed?
Thanks, Rick. It's great to be here with you. Restorative justice has been part of mainstream practice in justice across Canada since the 1970s and has really grown in usage and acceptance over those years. And this approach also is grounded in Indigenous practice and thinking. So restorative justice is a natural fit for our country. And so the time just seemed right after that period of 40 years or so to bring people together in a forum where they might be able to have some conversations about what would it look like if restorative justice became more part of the lens that we use when looking at justice issues. So in other words, what would it look like if relationships and a relational lens was the way we do justice rather than an adversarial or a punitive one, where relationships and that relational lens really helps to inform our practice throughout the system. So that really is the purpose and the reason we're doing this.
The Ottawa gathering is structured as a series of conversations revolving around specific questions. What are those questions and what is the thinking behind the structure for this event?
Well, the key questions that everybody will be reflecting on are what have we learned from the restorative justice journey thus far? What would be the key elements of a restorative paradigm in justice compared to a punitive or retributive one? What is needed to take us to that new justice paradigm? And what will get us there? And how do you see yourself as part of that journey? So everyone, when they come to this gathering, will have an opportunity to reflect on those key questions, sort of on an individual, but on more of a larger basis as well. And so in essence, how the 2 days are going to be structured, we're going to start off with a panel where each panelist will take some time to reflect on those questions. And then following a morning break, people have an opportunity to go and share their view on these key questions with one of those panelists based on that panelist's topic or area of practice. And then throughout the rest of the time, there will be breakout sessions of 80 minutes where a presenter will share their thoughts on those key questions over 20 minutes. And then for the rest of the time, there'll be a circle sharing process around that.
As the event has taken shape, what have been your additional thoughts?
Well, I'm really excited about this event. As I talk to people about it, both presenters or facilitators of the various sharing sessions, as well as others who are just interested in coming, people feel that the time is right for something like this. And really, it's part of a larger conversation that's happening across Canada. There's other events like this happening as well, slightly different, but I think it shows that the timing is right. And so it's excitement, but also I'm really love to be part of these conversations. I know lots of folks do as well.
Who will be most interested in this gathering?
Well, I think clearly practitioners and people who are involved and work in the field will be very much interested, and we want to really provide opportunity for them to be in these conversations, but also people who are maybe just interested in this and don't know much about it. And would like to really have a chance to reflect on what would it look like if there was a relational lens we used with justice as our key and primary focus.
How do the needs of key stakeholders in the justice system relate to the focus of this event?
Well, I think if you look at the key stakeholders, it's those who are impacted when harm occurs, as well as those then who are trying to address that and deal with that within our society. So everybody, I think, comes with some needs around that. And so if a person's been harmed, they need to be heard and acknowledged in what they've experienced, have that genuinely acknowledged, and be part of a process or a way to hopefully move on in ways that will help to try to make it as right as possible, maybe even towards some kind of healing. Those who have caused harm, they need an opportunity to really understand that impact, take responsibility, and hopefully be part of a repairing of that harm. And those who are others who are affected, such as communities, need to have similar kind of conversations, which is really more of this relational lens we're talking about. And then those who are involved in the system, whether that's within facilities, right to the community, how can we foster and facilitate those ways of engaging?
What are some of the next steps and actions that you see arising from this gathering in Ottawa?
Well, as I said earlier, we see this as one of hopefully many conversations like this that will start to happen or are happening. So we want people to make connections, not just learn from one another, come up with some ideas by being together, but to build more relationships between folks who work in this field, so we can have further discussions and ways to hopefully move the paradigm in this direction, as well as connect people to others in the country and other parts of the world. Because as part of an international organization, we're in part of a movement where we see this happening in lots of places where this can start to really carry through in lots of ways.
Is there anything else that we haven't covered in these questions, Bruce, that you'd like to add?
Well, just that I think everybody in some way is impacted by what we're looking at here. So whether we're someone who is directly involved in the justice system, or we've been impacted by incident of harm in one way or another, or been part of that, it really is just an opportunity for people to come together and share. It's a chance to share and reflect on what would it look like if we were more approaching it from this way. So that's one of the things. And I guess the other thing is that if people are really interested and coming, and I hope that they are, that they can look at our website, International Institute for Restorative Practices Canada, or just go to the main website. They'll be able to find out all the information they need to register.
Okay, then. Thank you, Bruce, for your time. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks for the opportunity.